Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Silent Stuff. And आज guys बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा important news है. There's a freaking important news for all those nerds who care about all of these kind of things. बहुत ही important news है. So as you see, as you can see on the title, Spider-Man No Way Home. तो इसके पहले स्पाइडरमैन की मूवी आई थी आफ्टर द होल इन्फिनिटी वॉर सागा 10 years of Marvel, बट उसके बाद थैनोस ने अपनी चुटकी बजा दी एंड देन वी हैड एंड गेम एंड थिंग्स वेंट बैक टू नॉर्मल. वेल, आफ्टर दैट केम Spider-Man Homecoming, and at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, they if you watch the movies, if you haven't watched the movie, I would want to tell you that there are huge ass spoilers waiting for you. So if you don't want to watch this video, and if you don't want anything to be if you don't want any spoilers from my side, shut this video off right now. But some really exciting news. Okay, and that exciting news would be that. Okay, let's get into it a bit more. I won't reveal it right now. You may have got it with the thumbnail and the title, but let's build up a story. So, if you remember at the end of the movie Endgame, Thanos uh, Thanos died because Tony Stark used the Infinity Stones, and Tony Stark also died. But we had the rest of the Avengers which were left. That included everybody other than Tony Stark, which is Iron Man, right? So the blip happened, जो जिसमें सब लोग गायब हो गए थे, उसको मार्वल सिनेमैटिक यूनिवर्स के अंदर बोलते हैं द ब्लिप, द ग्लिच, whatever you want to call it. People vanishing, turning into dust, and all of that. So then came Spider-Man Homecoming, where Spider-Man always looked up to Tony Stark, which was played by Robert Downey Jr. Uh, and he was uh, he was still in his training period, right? He just became an Avenger, and Thanos was there. It was such a big deal for him, and Tony Stark hashtag Iron Man uh, was his mentor, and all of a sudden there was no mentor. So that's where in Spider-Man Homecoming, he saw he came across Mysterio, which was played by one of my favorite actors, uh, uh, Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal. If you watch Jake Gyllenhaal, if you watch his movies, you know what kind of an actor he is. He's a really amazing actor, and I feel that it was an awesome transition for him to make from serious movies to movies like Spider-Man and stuff. So that was quite exciting to see him in a Marvel movie. So at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, uh, at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, Jake Gyllenhaal dies, and because he played Mysterio, he tells the rest of the people in the whole this particular Marvel Cinematic Universe that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, which was a shit show for Peter Parker, I believe, afterwards. And that's where we come to Spider-Man No Way Home. So, uh, this all started about a week ago, not a week ago. There were a lot of news going around this. We had some clues on to maybe this particular thing may happen. Um, because Marvel had released their lineup for the next movies and TV shows, which included Scarlet Witch, Loki, uh, Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, which is coming out by the end of this year, and so far and so forth. Now, we do know, we got a hint from Doctor Strange, uh, Multiverse of Madness, that it has to do something with parallel universes and everything, right? So people, fans all around the world started figuring things out. What does this really mean? And if you don't know, I'll give you another story, a background story. So basically, Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man right now, uh, his contract ended about a year ago, right after Spider-Man Homecoming. And so he had done all of his Avengers, Civil War, Avenger 1 and 2, and uh, two of his Spider-Man movies. But his contract is ended, had ended. So there was this whole interview on, I feel, on Jimmy Kimmel, where he said about all of these things, and uh, he begged the owner of Disney, and Disney specifically, to get him another movie. And this is the movie we are going to be talking about, guys. So before, I'll just get into it, okay? If you guys watched Scarlet Witch, he has a lot to do with this. Doctor Strange has a lot to do with this. And now I'm gonna spoil it for all of you guys. Guys, there are high chances that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, which were the two previous Spider-Men, they may be in this movie. I mean, come on, man. Come on. So there's a YouTube channel called The Cosmic Wonder. He makes amazing videos, and I was looking at his channel, and the videos that he covered on all of these, on this whole Spider-Man No Way Home, after the title release, they seem quite genuine. So today we're going to be reacting and watching these his videos together, and maybe you guys will be, you'll have a better idea into onto what is coming next on Marvel. So now, the reason why I'm saying that Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire will be coming back, well, it's quite easy, because if you remember, the guy who played Dr. Octavius or Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2 has been confirmed. His name is Alfred Molina, and he has been confirmed for Spider-Man No Way Home. The same actor who was in Spider-Man 2 is confirmed. Can you believe that? Then you have Kristen Dunst, who was Mary J. Watson. She has been confirmed for this movie. Okay, and the person who directed the first three Spider-Man movies, Mr. Sam Raimi, is the person who is directing this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. So definitely, I feel that Marvel and the Sony group is cooking something special for us. So uh, let's get into a video uh, made by the Cosmic Wonder. Thank you, the Cosmic Wonder. Please don't copyright strike my channel. I'm just trying to spread a message across the internet. So let's get down. All right. So this is the Cosmic Wonder, and I'm going to be playing this video. तो बहुत ध्यान से सुनना एक एक चीज़, मैं पॉज कर करके अगर कोई चीज़ नहीं समझ में आएगी या मेरे को इनपुट देना होगा मैं बताऊँ. Alright guys, let's get into it.
How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
The Spider-Verse film that has yet to be confirmed to be a Spider-Man film by Marvel Studios and Sony, but has pretty much been confirmed by everybody else, including some of the actors that are going to be in the movie. And there has just been so many leaks and rumors and reports and Instagram posts.
You have Kristen Dunst, Andrew Garfield, Mulaney, okay, Tobey Maguire. I'm not sure about. I forgot.
Stunt doubles tagging other stunt doubles, and there's just been so much going on. I'm going to break down every important thing that we've heard about Spider-Man No Way Home so far. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. More on them in a bit. And remind pretty big points are very important topics that have come out about the movie over the past year or so. My buddy Chris over at Cosmic Culture originally did a video on this.
You guys should definitely check him out.
He's done a great job. Let's dive into it. Number one, the president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, said himself that this film, No Way Home, is going to connect to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's cool.
So Kevin Feige has already confirmed that the movie Spider-Man No Way Home is going to directly connect to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It has been confirmed.
To lead up to it. With that came the confirmation that Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange will indeed be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, why is he in Spider-Man No Way Home? There are a lot of other heroes that could help Peter out that are in New York. And the answer is, Doctor Strange knows how to deal with the multiverse. So,
that's exactly true.
right away, the multiverse being in Spider-Man No Way Home is a pretty big sign that the Spider-Verse is also going to be in No Way Home. Point number two, and this is kind of like the biggest deal to me.
So, basically, you know how Doctor Strange can tap? Doctor Strange can basically tap into the multiverse, okay? He can see different realities. He did this in Infinity War, where he was looking for different realities and said that Tony Stark, there is only one way. So, you know.
Because it's a personal experience. And that is, I got copy striked, not copyright claimed, copy striked, it's a big deal, by the Latin America Sony group. And the video that they copy striked was their promotional video for the Spider-Verse. If you didn't get a chance to see this video.
Now, another reason that Sony and Marvel would be, I think, interested in working this out is because they released an animated movie called Spider-Man. What was it called again? Multiverse? No.
And the video that they copy striked was their promotional video for the Spider-Verse. If you did.
Okay, so the Sony and Marvel, they took out a movie, animated movie, which showcased different Spider-Man, and it worked. So I think that's why they had a bit of a motivation to, you know, take out this one.
You get a chance to see this video. It's a video that Sony Latin America put out that talked about seeing all three Spider-Verses in one film. It started off by asking who your favorite Spider-Man was, and then it went on to say that all three of them are going to appear in the same film. And they were specifically talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. They talked about seeing the movie on Christmas of 2021, the release date for No Way Home. Now, obviously this video was not supposed to go out. It was quickly removed after, but I posted it and they took it down. And when Spider-Man Far From Home came out, they released multiple trailers and multiple TV spots in which I posted them all doing breakdowns.
Yes, okay.
And showing clips.
Okay, I may have messed up. I may have seriously messed up. Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh no. I messed up. So the thing where I said where Mysterio dies and all that, that's Spider-Man Far From Home. It's not Spider-Man Homecoming. My bad. I was a bit too excited. Yeah, go ahead.
He never claimed a single one of them. So why would they claim this video? Well, it's probably because it revealed the Spider-Verse, and that is something they do not want shown. So to me, that's really the big one. A lot of proof to me. The third point is the recent Andrew Garfield interviews. You know, the ones where he claims that he's not the werewolf or he's not the mafia.
To be frank, I think it's a really cool idea.
In these interviews, he kind of denies that he's going to be.
So even I watched his interviews. In these interviews, Andrew Garfield denied every statement, and he said that I have nothing to do with this upcoming movie, but he did say it may be cool.
In No Way Home, but he never actually says he's not in the film. He talks about the game Werewolf and Mafia, where the whole point is to convince people that you're not the werewolf and you're not the mafia. He states he feels like he's playing the game and he's telling everybody, hey, I'm not the werewolf. But the whole point, if you're the werewolf, is to convince people you're not the werewolf. So he's literally saying, I'm not the werewolf, meaning I'm not in the film. But again, the point of the werewolf is to convince people you are not the werewolf. So it really seems like he's in the movie and he's just trying to convince people that he's not in the movie. He also had this pretty well rehearsed story about the werewolf and the mafia that he seemed to tell in each interview. But then, out of nowhere, in another interview, he said, never say never. He dropped the whole story, and when he was asked about ever appearing with the other two Spider-Man, he said never say never. So I already didn't believe him in the first two interviews, but then he turned around and completely changed the story, so I really don't believe him now. Then we have point number 4 going over to another Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey
Right when the
Maguire.
filming for Spider-Man No Way Home was
Imagine the three of them in one movie. I'm geeking out like shit right now.
starting, the paparazzi snagged a lot of pictures of Tobey Maguire going to a costume fitting. And here's the deal. Tobey Maguire doesn't have any upcoming movies. He was rumored to be playing a character in Babylon, but that is yet to be confirmed. So really, the only movie that he could be getting fitted for is Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, he was spotted before filming, and then he was spotted after filming. And after filming, he looked a lot better than he did before. He was clean shaven, and he was in better shape. And this is most likely due to him playing his old role of Peter Parker. Now, obviously, he doesn't do all of the stunts, but he doesn't just sit there and do nothing. So that would explain why he is all of a sudden in much better shape. And since we're talking about actors for No Way Home, that brings
This
me
is
to
what
my
I was
fifth
talking
point,
about.
which is Alfred Molina. This dude basically confirmed the Spider-Verse. I mean, he actually did confirm it. In the interview, he talked about how he asked director John Watts how his character is going to all of a sudden be alive when the last time we saw him, he was dead. In which he told us that the director said, in this universe, nobody really dies. And he also revealed
In the interview, he said, in this universe, nobody really dies. I mean, come on. And even Jamie Foxx is in it, which was from the Amazing Spider-Man, in which Andrew Garfield played Spider-Man. Jamie Foxx is there. Everybody's there. How are they still able to hide all of this? I still don't understand.
that they're going to take his character from that very final moment right before he dies, and that's where we're going to pick off with the character. So right at this moment, he's going to be taken away from the Sam Raimi universe right before he dies and brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From one Spider-Man universe to another. If that is not confirming the Spider-Verse, I don't really know what else is, except for, Marvel coming out and stating that, hey, it's the Spider-Verse. Hopefully that happens soon. But in the meantime, let's continue on with point number 6. Sticking with actor confirmations, point number 6 is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx will be returning in No Way Home as
See, I told you.
Electro, which he played in the Amazing Spider-Man universe. After one of the trade companies reported that Jamie Foxx would be returning as Electro in No Way Home, Jamie Foxx posted on his Instagram also confirming that he is indeed coming. However, he did delete the post not too long after that, but that's always a good sign for us. They only
Even I
really-
saw this. Jamie Foxx posted on his Instagram that I'm coming for this next movie, and his costume was like a bit. It wasn't the same as the one in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we can check that out. Jamie Foxx, Spider-Man images. This is not the one. Like, he has more of like a yellow suit. Yeah, you see this image over here, something like that. Something like this, right here. Yeah, something like this. So this may actually be Jamie Foxx in, I believe, in Tobey Maguire's universe, and not the one from Andrew Garfield's universe. But since nobody dies in these freaking movies, so high possibilities that there may be a mix-up.
Things because Marvel Studios tells them, hey, you weren't supposed to put that, take that off. It's usually a pretty good sign. Point number 7 is J. Jonah Jameson of the Daily Bugle. All of a sudden, he is back and he's in the MCU, and of course, he is still being played by J.K. Simmons. I get bringing JJJ into the MCU because we haven't seen him yet, but why use the same actor? Why use the actor from the Raimi universe if some type of Spider-Verse wasn't involved? So he's back, and now we have confirmation that Alfred Molina, who is from the same universe, the Raimi universe, is coming back as well, and a ton of reports stating that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is coming back too. So really, that's just another confirmation
Everybody's
that
coming
this
back.
movie is going to be a Spider-Verse film. And we're only halfway through all of the points, but before we get to point number 8, big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you own a business, make building a website super simple. They offer custom templates and give you a ton of tools. Man on the wall in the Morbius trailer. Over the picture, it said murder.
So Morbius is another character in the whole Spideyverse thingy, and do you see this image of Spider-Man on the right hand side? This is the Spider-Man from Tobey Maguire's universe, not from Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield's. So, and this movie is about to be coming out. Morbius, he's like a vampire dude, and again, a lot of indications that the universes will collide.
Implying that this could be Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and the reason they're saying murderer is because of what Mysterio has framed him for. So people probably think that Spider-Man murdered Mysterio. However, the picture on the wall is of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume. This further points to a connection of a Spider-Verse happening. Then in the Venom 2 trailer, we see Stephen Graham's character reading a newspaper that is the Daily Bugle with the exact same logo that the Daily Bugle had in the Sam Raimi Tobey Maguire films. So this Daily Bugle, which is apparently the same one, already exists in another universe. And before people get started talking about how this Venom universe could be the Sam Raimi universe, it's not. We already had an Eddie Brock and Venom in that universe. They are clearly different. But this Daily Bugle is the same, which means there is some multiverse stuff happening here. Point number 8, Tom Holland, that poor kid. He spoiled a lot for Far From Home and other things as well, and he's trying so hard not to spoil anything for this upcoming movie. Unfortunately, he's kind of all over the place right now. One second, when he's being asked about the Spider-Verse, he's telling us that he doesn't know anything. Then in another interview, when he's not specifically asked about the Spider-Verse, he says,
So Tom Holland is basically the guy that I believe that if you try to question him things continuously, he's definitely going to leak something or the other. This is a guy who cannot keep secrets.
everything about the film. So clearly he is trying to avoid talking about the Spider-Verse so he doesn't accidentally spoil the fact that it is happening in No Way Home. Point number 10 is that Sony and Disney have recently reached a new deal with each other. The Sony Spider-Man films are finally going to be on Disney Plus, and when new ones come out, they will be on Disney Plus as well. Now, what this shows us is that Sony and Disney are playing nice. We were scared that before.
Now, for a long time, before Civil War, Sony and Marvel and Disney were on collision with each other. They would not give rights for Spider-Man. Now we feel, because of all of these collaborations that are happening with Sony, Disney Plus, and Marvel, so Sony is the main key character because it holds all of the Spider-Man universe characters with them. So they're playing nice.
When they were doing that renegotiation, that Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, might not stay in the MCU. But unfortunately, over a year ago, they came to a new agreement, and it looks like now they're still playing really nice with each other. This means that both parties must think that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be an insanely good film, and if the Spider-Verse is involved, of course it is, there's really no way it could fail. Even if it's not as good as Homecoming or Far From Home, the fact that it has the Spider-Verse in it is going to make it one of the biggest movies of all time. And with reports stating that Andrew and Tobey might not actually be done after this movie, it would make sense that Sony and Disney would want to extend their agreement and contracts. Point number 11, stunt doubles tagging each other on Instagram. We have had many reportings of Andrew Garfield's stunt double being spotted on the set of No Way Home. While posting a video one day that was seemingly on the set of No Way Home, he actually tagged Tobey Maguire's stunt double. In another post, he tagged Tom Holland's stunt double. Now, there's really only one reason why all three of the Spider-Man stunt doubles would be
All of the Spider-Man stunt doubles were tagging each other. What the heck, man?
together. And that is of course to film for their respective Spider-Man. And this one offers a lot of validation for the fact that there are going to be 3 Spider-Man in the film. Point number 12. One of the crew members of No Way Home posting a picture of some merch that they got for the film. One included a shirt that had Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man on it with other parts that were hidden, probably hiding other
One key thing about leaks, toys, merchandise, and all of these things, they always lead to something or the other getting leaked in a very major way, because basically all of the production of all of these merchandises has to be decided beforehand. And as you can see in one of these t-shirts, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is there for the movie Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man. So we have a Spider-Man No Way Home shirt with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man on it. Well, there's really only one explanation for that. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is in the movie. Now, of course, this was later removed, and I'm not too sure how accurate this is, but I heard rumblings that that crew member could have gotten fired. Who knows? That is a pretty big leak. Then we have number 13, which I briefly talked about before. We have Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin talked about in just a ton of different reports and leaks. Based off of everything we know right now, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from the Sam Raimi universe is going to be the main villain. I mean, why not? Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is coming in, Jamie Foxx's Electro was coming, and we have a bunch of other villains reportedly coming as well. So if we have 2 people, Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe, coming from the Sam Raimi universe, it would make sense that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man comes. And lastly, for point number 14, is the overall direction that everything is heading towards. Literally almost everything that we know, if not everything that we know about Spider-Man No Way Home, points to it being a multiverse / Spider-Verse film. I mean, even the title No Way Home could be about no way back to his original.
Exactly. So maybe the title No Way Home actually means that Tom Holland comes into contact with Doctor Strange somehow, and he has been sent to another parallel universe, and there's no way for him to go back. You never know. I'm such a nerd.
Universe. Now, of course, we think it's going to be because he's going to be on the run as a fugitive after being framed for the murder of Mysterio, but it could be about either him or other characters not being able to get back home. Every leak that we've had, every major report from a major trade company has all said that this is going to be a Spider-Verse film. At this point, if it's not a Spider-Verse film and all of these things are wrong, I'm going to be in absolute shock. And I think that everybody else is going to be as well. But let me know what you think. Is this enough evidence to basically confirm the Spider-Verse in No Way Home? Or do you think that all of this is either simply coincidence or intentional misdirect from Marvel Studios? Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest Spider-Man and MCU news. Don't forget to...
Yep. So you guys should definitely check out the Cosmic Wonder, whatever you want to call it. And this guy has such amazing content. I mean, I check out all of his Spider-Man related news, and I follow another channel called The Real Rejects. So that's about Spider-Verse. So, all the points we have to take into consideration. First, the director of this movie, Spiderman No Way Home. Director John Watts. Produced by Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal. Hey, but Sam Raimi is also involved. I don't know why they're not showing it over here. It's stupid. Now, let's check out the cast members. Cast member Tom Holland and Zendaya, obviously. Alfred Molina is there. Jamie Foxx is there. I don't know this guy. Okay, Jacob. Benedict Cumberbatch? J.K. Simmons. Okay, he is definitely going to be there. So, you see how things are getting a bit confusing now. No Way Home. Sam Raimi. Spider-Man No Way Home rumored to include Lizard and Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man. So these are all the leaks and plot leaks. Oh man. Okay, when Alfred Molina was first invited to reprise his role as villainous Otto Octavius in Spider-Man No Way Home, the forthcoming third installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man films led by Tom Holland, he said he was told to keep it quiet. When we were shooting it, we were all under orders not to talk about it because it was supposed to be some great big secret, Molina said with a laugh during an interview with Variety about his role in Oscar-nominated Promising Young Women. Okay. But you know, it's all over the internet. I actually describe myself as the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Instead, not only did Molina confirm his involvement in No Way Home, he happily detailed his experience making the movie and returning to a part he first played in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 in 2004. Now you get what I'm trying to say, my friends. Okay. So guys, this was a bit of news for the people who care about leaks and stuff like that. I hope I may have spoiled everything for you, but come on, the trailer is going to be coming out in a month's time or something. The movie is going to be coming out around Christmas, and don't we want? Okay, something weird happened with me because the moment Endgame came out, I was like, how are they gonna level it up now? That was like the best thing ever that happened. And how are they going to make it even better? How is Marvel going to make movies even better? So this may be the answer, and there are so many more leaks. I'm going to make a continuous series or something for this particular topic. So if you want more news on Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, stick around, and let's take a break because I have one last thing I want to show you guys.
information you've been looking for your research, right? Wait a second. You can...
Tobey and Andrew, yeah, they're in this movie. They're going to fight alongside Tom Holland. But there is just a ton of information in this interview, including whether or not Tom Holland's Spider-Man is ever going to interact with Venom, Carnage, Morbius, and Kraven the Hunter. In fact, in this interview, it pretty much tells us to expect the Sinister Six. So I'll break it all down, but a reminder, only 2 days left in my Stormbreaker giveaway. All you have to do to enter, subscribe to my channel and to Cosmic Culture, and leave a comment on the video. So if you didn't catch the news that came out a couple of days ago, Sony has officially cast Aaron Taylor Johnson, the one and only who plays Quicksilver in the MCU, or played, I guess. Sony cast Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven. Now, this isn't Kraven that's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. This is a Kraven the Hunter solo film. And this article starts off by talking about the fact that, yes, they have cast him as Kraven. But then this article kind of starts to mention the other characters. They start to mention the Venom movie coming out, Let There Be Carnage. They start to mention Morbius. And then they start to talk about the fact that Spider-Man, specifically Tom Holland's Spider-Man, has yet to be involved in any of these movies. And when they talked about that separation, the Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group president, Sanford Panich, said this: "We don't really think of our 900 characters as the Spideyverse. We have a Marvel universe. The volume of characters we have, you know, wait until you see this next Venom. You don't miss Spider-Man." That's a pretty huge statement. First of all, the fact that there are 900 different characters in the Spider-Man universe alone is pretty insane. But he also specifically mentions the Marvel Universe, which is the MCU, and he specifically states that you don't miss Spider-Man in Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now, we know that Sony wanted Spider-Man in the very first Venom film, or at least they wanted Peter Parker to make a cameo. However, according to the deal that they had at the time, Marvel Studios said no, because they didn't want them to confuse the two different universes. But we know since then, Marvel and Disney made a new deal with Sony. And from what we know, it does seem like the new deal is going to allow Tom Holland's Spider-Man to go between the MCU and the SPUMC. And even the president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, came out and said that Spider-Man was the only character who had the ability to travel between different universes. So he's even hinted towards the fact that, yes, this is the new deal. And here's the kicker: Panich, after he said, "You don't miss Spider-Man" in the next Venom film, he paused after that and then he said, "It'll be exciting if they do meet, right?" Teasing us once again. But he also goes on to be a lot more specific when talking about Spider-Man. Now, the article goes on to talk about how Tom Holland's Peter Parker exists in the MCU, and any appearance that he might make in any other of Sony's films, like Kraven, Venom Let There Be Carnage, or Morbius, might be a little confusing, and could even be frustrating for some fans. And they start to address the fact that it's already actually got confusing because we saw Michael Keaton's Vulture in
Oh,
Hey,
this
come
is
on,
the
Ad.
information you've been looking for your research, right? Wait a second. You cannot...
Morbius. But here's the deal. Panich goes on to say that he understands the confusion and frustration among the fans. And although of course he didn't give any specific details, he did say that he expects that the tension will soon be resolved, and that greenlighting Kraven, a character who's also tussled with Venom in the comics, fills in another piece of that puzzle. He specifically states, "There actually is a plan. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed, and I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed." And I mean, obviously, it kind of seems like No Way Home is going to be what really opens.
Let's read that out again. There actually is a plan, he says. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we are headed, and I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed. Those are big words, my friend. Big words.
everything up. Not only the multiverse in the MCU, but also this multiverse leading into the SPUMC. And the Sinister Six is even teased here in this interview, which I'll get to in just a bit. But first, one of the most important parts that we have to talk about here is what Variety states in their article. This is what they said. One of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood is that No Way Home will be diving headfirst into the multiverse and incorporating characters from Sony's earlier Spider-Man movies that starred Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Alfred Molina, for example, told Variety in April that he will be digitally de-aged in No Way Home to look like he did as the villain Doc Ock at the end of 2004's Spider-Man 2.
He already
that right
said
there
all of
is
this.
Huge and is very
Come on.
revealing as it is, but not as revealing as what the supposed text originally said. Now on Twitter, there are a bunch of screenshots going around of this exact same paragraph that is edited a little differently. It's supposedly what it originally said, but then Variety changed the wording. And if it's true, this is what it originally said. Instead of incorporating characters from Sony's earlier Spider-Man movies that starred Tobey Maguire
Yo, so many ads.
and Andrew Garfield, it apparently said, and incorporating Sony's other iterations of Spider-Man starring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. That's a pretty absolute statement, and we do have the screenshots of that. And that right there is proof. Other iterations of Spider-Man. That's a confirmation right there. But even the changed version of this article is still a pretty big confirmation. I mean, they even mentioned Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield by name. Granted, they were talking about the earlier movies with them in it, but they are incorporating characters from those films into a multiverse. That's pretty much as big of a confirmation as we can get. Obviously, he didn't say, oh yeah, and Tobey's coming and Andrew's coming and all the Spider-Mans are getting together, but that is essentially what he just said. The only reason he actually mentioned Alfred Molina would be in the film is because we already know that. He already came out and said that. So Marvel and Sony gave them permission to say that in this interview. But I mean, this is coming from the Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group president. It's as official as it can get. So at this point, if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't in the movie, then wow, they really played us, because basically we just got a confirmation that, yeah, they are. They're taking characters from their universes and bringing them into the next Spider-Man film. And if they decided to do that and not take the actual Spider-Man of those universes, that might go down as one of the dumbest decisions of all time. Now we have...
That's really true. That's going to be the dumbest decision of all time.
Or good news, when asked what the future holds for Spidey and Marvel Studios, Panich said this: "The great thing is we have this very excellent relationship with Kevin. There's an incredible sandbox there to play with. We want those MCU movies to be absolutely huge because that's great for us and our Marvel characters. And I think that's the same thing on their side. But we have a great relationship. There's lots of opportunities, I think, that are going to happen." Variety would go on to ask about one of those opportunities being finally making a movie about the Sinister Six, especially with the announcement of Kraven coming to the SPUMC, in which Panich said, "It's tough because I think these projects are the kind of things we have to work on in the dark. They're not ready until they're ready. Kraven is a great example because we just didn't rush it. We could have made that 3+ years ago. It's just now the script's awesome. JC was the right choice, and we found the movie star because it was just Kismet. And watching this other movie and realizing that could be the perfect casting." But Variety pressed a little bit further, asking about the Sinister Six, and after a long pause, Panich chuckled and said, "It would be very cool, wouldn't it?" And I think that that is absolutely the plan. They're introducing so many different characters into the SPUMC that it just makes sense that they are setting up the Sinister Six right now. And then when you have No Way Home open the multiverse and make it to where Tom Holland's Spider-Man can travel to the SPUMC, it makes perfect sense that that's what's going to happen. Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. So pretty big reveals in this
Spider-Man.
Variety article. We basically got a confirmation of the Spider-Verse and the Sinister Six. And one of the best parts is it looks like Marvel and Disney and Sony have a really great relationship, which means this universe that is being created is not going anywhere. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Let me know how excited you are for the...
So again, high chances, high really high chances that all of these things may work out, and if it does, it's gonna be amazing at the end of the day. Come on, that's all you need, you know. So again, guys, thank you for coming onto the channel. I hope you're liking these live streams. uh, I'm still getting the hang of it. The video did mute out in between, stuff like that, but I'm getting the hang of it. Don't worry, धीरे धीरे सब ठीक हो जाएगा, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. So comment down below on your thoughts about the new Spider-Man movie, and give this video a thumbs up. Go check out the Cosmic Wonder and all of his videos on his channel if you want to stay updated on the Spider-Man news. And till then, it's your boy. No, it's me, Science Stuff. See you next time. Or in fact, tomorrow only. See you tomorrow. Alright, guys. See you later.